What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And as you may know, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's been named the 2020 MVP. And in my mind, this is a pretty obvious MVP pick, as Giannis this year, he put up 29, 14, and 5, and led his team to the best record in the NBA, while only playing 30 minutes per game, which is the lowest ever for an MVP winner. But as you guys know with these awards, there's always huge outrage for a player who doesn't win the award. And this year, LeBron James, he was second MVP voting, and I've seen a lot of awful takes saying LeBron James should have won the MVP. But with that being said, I haven't seen any logical arguments to support LeBron James being the MVP. All the arguments for LeBron, they have to deal with stuff that doesn't even deal with basketball. You have people in the media saying he deserves MVP because Kobe Bryant passed away, or that he dealt with the Hong Kong situation. And the most annoying argument is that LeBron James, he is 35 years old in year 17. And throughout NBA history, with all 65 MVP awards, age and the number of seasons has never been a factor in determining who is the regular season MVP. The regular season MVP, it's a regular season award, and it's given on which player has the best regular season, and this year, it was Giannis Antetokounmpo. And if you want to do a quick comparison of Giannis versus LeBron, you can easily tell off the bat, Giannis, stats-wise, he is better than LeBron James. And when you realize Milwaukee, they had a better record, I think it's pretty obvious that Giannis, he was the MVP. Now, one thing I do wonder is if you switch these players' names and said LeBron was averaging 29, 14, and 6, and led his team to the best record in the NBA, would there be any outrage about LeBron James winning MVP? I highly doubt there would. And the last thing I want to say about the MVP award, it does not determine which player is the best player in the league. And at this point, I think everyone should know the playoffs and the regular season, they're two completely different seasons. And if you look at the last 5 MVPs, Giannis this year, he lost 4-1 to the Heat in the second round. The year before that, he had a 2-0 lead in the Eastern Conference Finals, and he lost 4 straight games. James Harden in 2018, he took the Warriors to 7 games in the Western Conference Finals, but he would lose. In 2017, Russell Westbrook, he was the MVP and had a first-round exit. And Steph Curry in 2016 blew a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals. And the constant theme of the past 5 MVP awards is that all those players, they failed to lead their team to a championship, and none of those players were the best player in the NBA after winning said award. Now, this year for Giannis, I think it is one of the most disappointing MVPs we've seen in NBA history. And throughout NBA history, there's been 65 total MVPs, and out of those 65, only 15 of those MVPs did not make it out of the second round. Those being Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Moses Malone, Bill Walton, Kareem, Bob McAdoo, Wes Unseld, and Wilt Chamberlain. And if you want to narrow that down even further to the MVPs who led their team to 60-plus wins or a 73% win percentage and failed to make the conference finals, you only have 5. LeBron James in 2010, Dirk in 2006, Karl Malone in 1999, Magic Johnson in 1990, and Giannis in 2020. And out of LeBron, Dirk, Karl Malone, and Magic Johnson, I think Giannis, his career path, it is most similar to Dirk Nowitzki, as both these players, they came in the league as kind of hidden gems, and they were really unknown how great they would be. Giannis, he was the 15th pick in the draft, and Dirk, he was the 9th pick. And actually, both these guys, it took 3 years until they made their first All-Star appearance. And as I already touched on, both these guys, they had huge disappointing MVP seasons. Dirk in the first round, he lost to the We Believe Warriors, who were the 8th seed in the Western Conference, and Giannis, he lost to the Miami Heat. And for Dirk, from 2000 all the way till 2010, he was viewed as an underperformer in the playoffs who never came up in the clutch time moments. And a lot of people at the time, they thought Dirk, he was never going to win a championship. And I think there's some interesting parallels between Dirk and Giannis, how these guys, they are viewed as playoff underperformers, and Giannis at this point in his career, he is still younger than Dirk was in 2007. But the big knock on Giannis is that he struggles in the playoffs, and he really struggles in the clutch time moments. And I think until he wins a championship like Dirk did in 2011, those narratives and those things are going to continue to be said about him and his game. And since Giannis became a superstar in 2019, we have seen him consistently underperform in the playoffs in the big time moments, and that was none more evident than in the 2019 Eastern Conference Finals versus the Toronto Raptors. Now, Milwaukee in this series, they would go up 2-0, and Giannis in those first 2 games, he was absolutely dominating, averaging 27, 16, and 6 on 47% shooting. Now, over the remaining 4 games of that series, the Bucks, they would lose all 4 games, and Giannis, he did not play up to superstar standards, only averaging 21, 13, and 6 with 4 turnovers. And in the Game 6 elimination game in Toronto, Giannis put up 21 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, on 7 for 18 shooting, including 5 for 10 from the free throw line. And in that series, when it came to scoring in the fourth quarter, Giannis wasn't even the highest scorer on his team, being outscored and outplayed by none other than Brook Lopez. And Giannis, he was also outplayed by Kyle Lowry in the clutch. And for someone who's considered a superstar, that is absolutely unacceptable for Giannis Antetokounmpo, even though Kyle Lowry is still one of the best point guards in the game. And that series versus Toronto, it definitely showed the lack of ability for Giannis to create his own shot and shoot the three. And to Giannis' credit, he worked hard in the offseason and he came back with a much improved jump shot, shooting 30.4% of the field on a career high 4.7 attempts. And I think after that very disappointing Eastern Conference Finals appearance in 2019, I think Giannis, he definitely came back on a mission in 2020, and you saw that during the regular season. But as I said before, the playoffs, they are a different story. And sadly, Giannis, once again, he would not come up big in the playoffs, as in Game 1 of the second round versus the Heat, he would have 18 points, 10 boards, 9 assists, with 6 turnovers, while shooting 4 for 12 from the free throw line. And in this series versus Miami, we definitely saw Giannis struggle in the clutch, as in Game 2, he missed crucial late game free throws that were basically the difference in the outcome of the game. And in Game 3 of this series, Milwaukee would be outscored 40-13 in the fourth quarter, and Jimmy Butler, he would single-handedly outscore the Bucks 17-3. And after this Game 3, Giannis, he was dealing with some major ankle injuries, so I won't hold Game 4 against him. But in the first 3 games of the series, Giannis, he was averaging 23, 7, and 13 on 41% shooting, 15% from 3, and 54% from the line. That is definitely not up to Giannis' MVP caliber standards. And in this series, Giannis, he 100% had enough help to beat the Heat, as Chris Middleton in his first 3 games, he was averaging 23, 7, and 5 on 45, 35, 93 splits, and Brook Lopez, he was also adding in another 20 points on great efficiency from the field. And entering the playoffs, Milwaukee, they were the heavy favorites to make the NBA Finals, and they were the favorites to actually win the whole thing. So this was definitely another disappointing loss for Giannis in the playoffs. And I think Giannis' 2020 MVP season is one of the most disappointing seasons of all time, is because the expectations the Bucks had to go all the way and win the championship. And right after the Bucks lost in Game 5 to the Heat, rumors immediately began to spread about Giannis possibly leaving the Bucks and heading to somewhere like Golden State or Miami. And for now, Giannis, he has shut down all rumors that he is leaving Milwaukee, but I wouldn't rule it out of the equation, as we've seen crazier things happen, and we've definitely seen superstars change their mind within a year. And I think if Giannis and the Bucks come back in 2021 and they absolutely tear it up in the regular season, and again, they go out early before making the NBA Finals, we will see Giannis on a different team for the 2022 season. And I think Giannis, he has the right mentality for a championship caliber player, and he knows that stats and MVPs, at the end of the day, they're not as important as winning a championship. And hopefully in the near future, Giannis does win a championship. The only question will be, will it be in Milwaukee, or will it be in Golden State, Toronto, or possibly Miami? So that is all I have to say about Giannis in his 2020 season. I just wanted to point out to you guys that Giannis, he was the rightful MVP, and because he won MVP, that does not mean he is the best player in the world. And I think it's super important to remind people the MVP, it is a regular season award. The postseason has no influence on who wins that award. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time.